Alright, I'm gonna like slap myself in the face. Be like, focus, 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 focus. And I'm gonna pull out my little quiet kit with shaky hands, and I'm gonna pull out a little vial and just down it to try to quiet the voices.
Nice.
And I'm gonna scramble back towards these guys, like as they're like beating him on the ground, just like skid in like baseball players stealing a base. Right next to him, just like, there's more, there's more, there's more. They're coming, they're coming, they're coming. And just grab my tools and just try to fix this crossbow if I can.
All right, I'm enjoying this. Why don't we switch? All right, I'll distract and you do attack.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
I'm gonna keep beating, and then you jump in when they get here. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to take his head, which is probably severed from his body, and I'm going to walk into the woods and I'm going to wait for them to turn up.
Fantastic. Okay, so it seems like you've gone for what's becoming your default plan of operatus modi. Trick them. Right. Okay. Well, let's see how well this goes under the circumstances.
Do I need to roll something to fix this crossbow, or is this thing just fucked?
This, I mean, because you failed another roll, you can fix it, but that's going to be something that you may have to do during your lurking phase, or during when you found somewhere suitable, like a workshop or a lair. You can
Gotcha. So as far as like in the field, this thing's just like fucked.
For now, yeah. Like.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
So I'm just like smashing on the ground, slamming tools into it, slapping myself in the head.
Also, because you played into your nature and you were acting paranoid and like sort of removing yourself from being useful, take a dark heart for playing into your nature. Sus.
Yeah. So was I supposed to roll something or just
no? Just add a dark heart. You cannot go over 3 dark hearts though.
Okay. Yeah, I got 1 then.
Don't worry, Sus. We'll get a new place. It should be okay. Got a plan.
Okay. The good news is that your plan definitely drew the attention of the 3 oncoming. And you can see clearly now they have the marks of human brigands and bandits. You've even perhaps worked with some of these kinds of people in your previous dungeon for like raiding and stuff. Some unscrupulous humans can often join like dark and evil purposes because gold lies in the center of their heart. The bad news.
We know these people.
No, you know their sort, but not these people.
Okay.
Problem is, standing out in the open, bashing in a human corpse, is left you in a risky position. And one of them...
It ain't risky at all, I'm ready.
One of them has a bow and has been able to sight a shot at you. I'm afraid you're going to take a minor wound. Unless you resist it.
No. You know what I'm going to do? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw this guy's leg on the ground. As it hits me in the chest, I'm just going to flex. I'm going to take it, for clarity's sake. I'll go, come on then. We got your leader. I got your leader. I'll take all 3 of you on as well. And I'm going to get ready to beat the shit out of them as well.
I would like to... Can I see them from my hidden...
Yes, you certainly can.
I would like to suddenly step up behind them, holding the head of their leader. And I want to hold the head of Gerald in my other hand. Say, hello, my name is Grunklepan. This was your leader. This is what he's going to look like in a minute. You have two options. You either go out there and face Derek, and this'll happen, or you drop your weapons now, which is what I suggest you do, and you come with us and be our servant. Now, what do you want?
Ooh-ah.
Death or slavery?
Okay.
I'm trying to scare them.
Yes, that sounds like
Intimidate them.
that sounds like a command action.
It is.
Is
Okay.
can I assist? Is assistance a thing in this system?
I
'Cause-
believe it is.
all right, I'm assist.
I am going to check on it, but I believe you can increase the effects, but you also share the consequence for if the roll goes awry. So, are you willing to do that?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. How are you?
let's go, Uncle Bum.
It's just
All right, how am I assisting? How do you think I'm assisting?
stupid question.
Yeah, all right. You think you're gonna have a fight? Yeah, that's your leader right there. He ain't joking. I took him out with one blow, and I'll take all three of you out with one swing.
Fantastic.
You ready for this?
Grunkulban, I would like you to make a command roll, adding in any modifiers from your shrunken head that may be appropriate. I believe they are in this case.
Yes.
Are you applying any dark hearts to this?
I don't have any, so no.
Okay. That's good to go.
Ah.
That looks like a mixed result. You scare them, but you're very close to them, aren't you?
Yes, right next to them.
As they run, fleeing in terror at your words, one of them snatches the head of their leader, cradling it to their breast and sobbing, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
I reach into my pocket. I pull out one of his fingers. I start eating it and say, easy come, easy go.
Fantastic. Well, I believe that brings this raid to an end. I mean, do I think you sticked on plan? It didn't go off perfectly without a hitch, but broad strokes, I believe you did a good job of staying on plan. So I'm going to roll 2 fortune dice for this, I believe. Is that the correct terminology? Bear with me, folks.
That's the best plan we've ever pulled off.
That's
yes,
true.
was.
Of course, it was a good plan, and you were good, and I was great.
Derek hates you. Derek hates you so much.
While you're rolling that, I'll be 30 seconds.
No worries. So, who would like to make the loot roll? I think it'd be nice if the players make it.
Sash should make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I deserve the loot.
Okay. Fantastic. You roll 1d10.
1d10. 8.
Sorry, no. What am I talking about? That is a lie, folks, because it's a D6 system. That was a test if you people were learning and like on the move. That's definitely what it is, because this is it's all
like-
about teaching you. 1d6.
I was like, a D10 seems weird, but Plucky said it, so sure.
Never have unnerving faith in your 1d6, please.
1d6. 4.
I can't see, it's too dark.
And then roll another one.
And 6.
Fantastic. Okay, so you got a success. You gain 3 gold. And bundled up is some sort of precious package that has clearly been put out of the way. Perhaps this ex-bandit chief leader didn't want his fellows getting in on this loot. It smells well taken care of and secured. You'll have to examine that later. As the rain...
Sorry.
The rain starts to eat in, you realise you've been standing out in the rain, and it starts to chill you to your bone. You were about to ask me a question?
I was gonna say the 3 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Am I able to divide that between the 3 of us, or I just mark all 3 down?
Let me just double check, because I think with loot rolls, really.
It's all right. It's going to the pile, not any of us. We need to advertise that we've got 3 gold now so that people come and we can do bad things.
I have no idea how gold works, so I'm like, I don't know if it's all going in one pot or we
You
divide
hoard
all
it and
up.
then never do anything with it. Just looks pretty in a corner. You sit on it, because you're really a dragon.
Sorry, folks, give me a second. Just making sure.
Were these supposed to be the bandit types that work for our previous boss?
Yes.
They were cowardly.
No surprise, they always used to be.
They was the humans, right? Because we ain't
Yes.
hiring none of them if those are what humans is.
No. Well, you know, they're good to use for experiments and the like.
Oh, I like it.
I have a suspicion the loot roll should be for each player, but because I haven't confirmed that and I can't see it quickly, and I'm a little bit tired today, folks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split that 3 gold between you, and that package might make an interesting scene of you fighting over it later once you examine it. So
Alright.
each add a gold coin to your sheet.
Yeah, I'll hand out a gold to each of them. It's like,
And you can all see this mysterious package being like...
Derek still hates you.
Thank you, sis. I like you very much. I hope.
And I'll just write down mystery package.
Yep. But you're all aware of it. Because we haven't had a
Just-
power struggle yet, but it's something of the system that you should be aware of.
Yeah, it's just to know we have it.
Yeah, fantastic. And I am going to see what the consequences of your adventure bring. Ooh. Okay.
It's no consequences because we're brilliant at being bad guys.
Yes, we are the greatest. Especially me.
And mostly me, though. Not him.
No,
No, he's all right.
you're the biggest.
Derek's so much better than you.
I'm assuming you're talking to yourself, Sus. You're definitely not talking.
Yeah. No. That's me.
Okay. You start to wander in the direction of their warm camp. Okay. As the raid wraps up, you look around and realise this is a perfect place for a dungeon. You see that they'd set up a camp outside the entrance of a cave. They'd set these banners and flags, scavenged from things, and a pile of animal bones have been piled up. Clearly, their refuse pit.
Is there a volcano though?
We can make it into a volcano. It's fine.
Can you do that?
Of course. Do you know what happens in the hells? A lot of fire. Just summon a demon who focuses the fires of the hells. Then you can chain fire throughout a mountain, turn it into a volcano, and rain fiery death and destruction upon all.
Yes, yes. This is the place, guys. I think this is the place. This is our new stronghold.
I think we could have a nice porchway entrance here. We could outline it in bone. It'd be lovely. Have the little crunchy effect, and maybe some like statues, things that have been make it look like we have some kind of like gorgon. Just have some stood in place.
And I can make some woolen hats to put them on, though.
Yeah.
I can put tripwires everywhere, baby.
As you finish off the scraps of their like supplies and food and nestle yourselves into their comforting sleeping bags and tents and dream of what tomorrow brings, you eventually fall asleep. You wake up the next morning and get to work, starting rearranging the cave to your liking. Suddenly, you hear a noise coming from the entrance. Your dungeon attracts imps, tiny monsters that come to you for protection. In return, they do the busy work around your dungeon. They use to push simple tasks in the background and populate your dungeon. What do your imps look like? Now, so when I say imps, these can be all manner of beings like small earth elementals, leprechauns, maybe even some dark fae. But they're small and generally inconsequential creatures, as you might expect, and the lowest pecking order of the dungeon, useless nevertheless. So there's a list of descriptors. So choose any two of the following. Are they going to be clever? Are they going to be cowardly? Cruel? Happy? Helpful? Manic? Stupid? A little bit surly or troublesome?
I think they need to be stupid so that they know who's boss.
Yes, I think so.
They should be helpful. So very helpful.
Yeah.
Stupid and helpful. Yes.
Yeah.
Just like all good servants.
And what if the tiny little skeletons?
Well,
I like it. I like it. Tiny little skeletons of all sorts of creatures. Some could be dogs or rats. Others could be people or small dwarves or something. And they can just carry things around their stupid ways.
You hear a familiar voice of the demon that you offered a soul. Pleased with your work, he sends the spirits of those animal corpses that are being killed in the dead of night, animating them and sending them as your minions, your imps.
That's perfect.
They're stupid but helpful little beings. Okay. So that's all minions. Fantastic.
Good. Truly been cursed. This is great.
Stupid
Yes.
woodland creature skeletons.
So you are now, as you see these like bones that were piled amongst your flags and like makeshift broken spears and stuff that the previous bandit has bandits had made a makeshift horde. They sort of animate, jittering together. They sort of little chicken sort of pieces itself. Its little skull moves up, and it can see that you're clearing rubble, and it sort of gathers it in its little wings and beak and starts moving it out to one side and helps you with the clearing process. The makeshift thing of part rabbit and part fox sort of amalgamates itself. Two heads. It picks up stuff and starts leaping and jumping in a sort of weird shambling jump motion. How do you react to these new
Look, it's a foxit. It's a foxit.
Look, to be honest, right, as long as it's doing the work and I'm not, I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the show. Go on, build us a lair. Build us a stronghold.
Yes, I like the otter one.
Okay, so now we come to a long process that will take probably a couple of months as you settle in to build your dungeon. So I am going to move you to another page, and we are going to start the process of drawing out your dungeon, folks. Exciting stuff with your imps helping. I am both dreading and looking forward to this, folks, as I dread to think what my players are going to come up with, but this will be interesting.
Do we get to do the drawing?
You do indeed, and I will lay out how you do this, but I am going to do a discovery roll for you to see what hidden wonders lay within this cave.
Grandcoban shall return. I can still hear you, so don't say anything behind my back. I know.
Grunkleban wants to kill you.
I can still hear you.
Hey, Sus.
Yeah.
How can he still hear us?
Because he's better than me.
Because I have all the magic.
He's magic and he's better than me.
Oh, shiitake mushrooms. I don't like that. I hope she doesn't use his evil against us.
Oh, he will. He's gonna kill me.
No, he comes back. He comes back. All right, Grunkle Bun. It's not nice to meet you on this wonderful winter's evening. Isn't it nice
No,
being
it's
in the
not.
warm now?
That's a lie. It's never nice to meet me. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because I'm evil.
Oh, no, that's what I like. That's what I like you.
Yeah,
Sure.
I know, really.
Nice, right? Them goods is ponces, ain't they? We's true to ourselves. Do you remember that time when we were in the cold and the rain, and then we chopped the legs off that guy, and you got his head, and then we got this place. It was good times.
Okay, let's start with the most important part of the dungeon. It's your sanctum. It's what separates you from the lowly minions and peons and imps.
Hello?
So what do you want your sanctum to look?
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
You
Oh,
are-
cool.
Why can't I hear anyone?
He's muted himself, folks. He's
Yeah.
deafened himself, so I'm going to poke him.
It's his God's talking to him, isn't it? Or his magic says. They're getting to him.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 by 11, I believe. I don't know if it's important that it be 11 by 11, so I'll just try and keep things there. But we can always change the scale. The important thing is we get the concept down, and then we'll worry about other things. Wow. I think I want that to be there, and rectangular. Let's see if this works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there we go. there we go. There's your sanctum square. We might have to increase the... Oh god, that's a really terrible place for it to be fucking...
I have to make this grid a little bigger.
Yeah. I'm going to do that now, folks. Bear with me. Setting how many...
Plucky's trying to kill
4,
me.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
The world's out to get me.
I'm just gonna eyeball it. I seriously, dude, I can't do it when you're cracking me up. It's...
Derek's sanctum would be so much bigger.
You're damn right. I'm gonna have a coliseum in mine.
Okay, it's working now. I got that.
That, for the record, that is 11 squares. You have successfully drawn a square of 11.
Good. I need to like make sure that the grid, like the squares, are like 40 by 40 though. So I'm just gonna do the lazy classic plucky thing to do. Just double up the grid side and hope for the best. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
There we go.
I think, I think that we should. We got all this space for Sanctum. I think we should leave a quarter of it in case someone else joins us and makes a nice format. For someone else that might possibly join us in the future.
You never know.
No, I don't you remember that?
That's thoughtful of you, Derek.
No, there was this other.
How very thoughtful.
I likes me, right, a good fight, and if we're gonna go fight some people, then there was that sneaky red person that escaped, but they disappeared. And what I'm thinking is, if we're like, come here, and they turn up, then we could be like, here's your sanctum.
Derek's talking about replacing me.
You know, just in case one of us dies, right? We can replace each other.
Derek's gonna make it look like
leaving.
an accident.
I mean, I could be a bit clumsy at times, so I don't want to accidentally do anything bad.
I mean, Derek, have you thought about it this way, right? What we could do is we could have like, have it split into fours, and I get 2 of them, and you each get 1.
Look, if anyone is having 2, it's the big one, right?
So
Right,
just
and
to
that's the smartest. Sorry.
just to let you know that you don't actually have to draw your private lair. That's your bonus that you assume to have. So all you have to do is draw, like, your horde there, doors leading to each of your individual sanctums, and like kind of like give it like a look of what it is. Who's going to be drawing that while the others draw the other bits? Who wants to draw the sanctum?
I mean,
Good question.
Derek has interior design ideas, but
Fantastic. Derek, you volunteered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get a door to Can you point to the door to sanctum? Because
So there's going to be some stairs leading down or up. Sorry, because you're on the lowest level. Because you're on the second level of the dungeon. So you need to draw some stairs somewhere. You need to draw rooms leading off, 4 of them. And you've got to put in your treasure hoard. But you know, other than that, choose some aesthetics and some nice touches to it. It doesn't have to be perfect, just representative.
can I move to
Derek's
sanctum?
got a bachelor's in
Sanctum's lots of
architecture.
place, so in that corner.
I hear he always wanted to go to design school.
Right. All right. All right. I'll do the thing. All right. It's black. Okay. So what's gonna happen? We're gonna have one here. Right. This is one sanctum. You get to go up or down, but it's a tunnel to one sanctum. Tell you what, Sass. Right. This is yours. Okay. And then this one is mine. Yeah. And then this one. Tell you what, you can have that one, Mr. Grunkle Bun. And then, should we have another addition to our war band? They can have this. And here is the big steps to our sanctum.
Would you mind putting it in the sanctum
Why is there?
box? Sorry, Derek.
Oh, okay,
Like inside,
okay,
that's your
okay,
play
sure.
area inside there. Perfect.
Sure. So we
Why is
got
that you've drawn theirs bigger than mine? Why is mine the smallest?
because
Did
you
that
was
intentionally, did you?
you are pretty small.
No.
Derek, put yours
massive.
on the bottom because you deserve to be on the bottom.
There we go. I
Okay.
made mine bigger.
All right.
And
okay.
purple, because purple is like royalty, and I'm the best.
See, I'm a. Don't you worry. It's gonna be the best sanctum ever, right? See, what happens is they go around there like that, and then you go around there like that, and we have the spectators along the side.
Crowd seating.
So it's crowd seating, yeah. So that when those stupid heroes come into our lair and tell us what for, we got us a Colosseum. Yeah? So you can have your entrance, you can have yours.
And where's
Yeah, baby. I can rig some fireworks so when you come out.
the hoard going? Your treasure hoard. I should be.
The treasure hoard.
We should put it in the middle. Put it in the middle. That's what they're fighting over.
Yeah, I like that. All right. Because they think they're going to get the treasure, but they ain't going to get the treasure. All right, so I'm going to bring it back a little bit just to tease them and make sure that we get a good fight before they get to us.
Perfect.
So, right here.
What if we hang it from the ceiling in a cage?
Let's hang it from the ceiling in a cage.
Love
Oh,
it.
I got that.
Oh, that's
an
even better.
idea.
That's brilliant. Cage match. Cage match.
Okay, that did not hurt. Okay.
And we got to make sure we have big double doors so that when we come out, we could be like, and here's us, Derek, come to ruin your day.
Yeah, some fireworks. Fireworks when the doors open.
Oh, and you can set the fireworks, right, sus?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put the. I'll make sure that these stupid imps put the fireworks in. Here, like that. So, what does everyone think of my design? I've got a sanctum for all of us and a room for each of us.
Derek made a better sanctum than you ever would.
I'd like to think that my sanctum is the best that any of you could come up with, but just speaking for myself.
Now you'll each take turns drawing one of the items below. Don't worry too much about how they look. Adding some small details to things you draw is nice, but also try to draw them quickly, as this takes a little while. Let's go clockwise, starting with sus. Every room can be connected by small tunnels. Rooms tend to be between 3 to 5. 3 times 3 or 5 times 5, though any size or shape really okay. Those dimensions tend to make the dungeon look the best, though. Choose and draw from the list. When it's your turn, draw until each item has been drawn. Discussing some of the choices as a group, like creature or major room, might be a good idea. It's good advice. So the list, which I guess I should copy and paste to our Discord, so you can follow along.
Is this something that each of us need in each of our rooms?
So this is in the main dungeon now.
Oh,
so we've
right.
done the sanctum. You did an excellent job, by the way, Derek. Very
This
impressed.
would be connected to the staircase that comes down, correct?
Yeah, so this would be the first level.
Okay.
So you should see under the Wicked Ones in the Discord, the list.
Yes.
Obviously, the Discord is this place where all the imps of your dungeon meet and scratch things on the wall. There we go. So there's some exciting options and there's some less maybe engaging ones, but there you go.
So what do we got?
Okay.
Uh,
Right. I've got it, I think.
so where it says like a lock, is it a room and a locked door, or is it just a lock on some door somewhere? Mm,
I think it's the locked door, isn't it? It's a door with a lock, right?
Yes. So
right.
I think you'd have to place
Yeah,
that.
so it's like, oh, okay, gotcha. So it's
Yeah.
like you place a door somewhere and you place a lock on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we still need the tunnel to or the stairway to the sanctum, or is that corner already?
Well, we need to show where it starts.
Yeah, see, the design of this means that you could put the stairs at any one of those 4 squares. Dealer's choice.
I mean, this is a second level, so it's kind of abstract, right? So you can put your stairs leading down, because that's technically on the second level. I'll look up your lock question,
Mhm.
but I...
That's what I'm wondering is like, do you just place a lock somewhere on a door anywhere, or do you draw a room and place a lock wherever it's connecting?
I know locks go on your character sheet. Okay, so also make it clear when deciding on creatures, tricks, locks, and traps, they need to write these down on their own individual characters. They're responsible for rolling them during the dungeon defense. And speaking of which, I will look into more of that while you.
Yeah.
If you
So I
want
was thinking like if I put like, because there's trap, trick, lock.
Yeah.
Is it you place that in any room, or you draw a room and then describe like the trap, trick, or lock that's in it?
Yeah, I think
That's what I'm trying to
for the
think.
moment, I am going to treat that as like a separate little room or function for the moment. And if it's not, we can always superimpose those onto another room just to keep things flowing. But that's,
Gotcha.
I'll look that up
So-
while we're going. But yeah.
Yeah, so I'm wondering like, because we're like cycling, going like build a room, build a room, build a room,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's like if I draw, say, like a tunnel that leads to these stairs, do I draw a tunnel with a trap, or do I just draw the tunnel for now and we add the trap later? I'm just trying to make sure I'm not doing too many things on my turn.
No,
I guess.
definitely. So, the stairway. Are you talking about the stairway leading to the sanctum?
Yeah, like if I drew a tunnel that leads to that stairway, and I wanted to put a trap in it, do I draw the tunnel and add the trap now, or just the tunnel for now, and then later around we add the trap in?
So I think we're at the sort of trap as more of a trap room, okay? So that's what I'm going to, and a lock will be like a barred sort of room that sort of stops people from progressing.
Gotcha.
And a trick will be there, so you can use those to like redirect people and make them, funnel through different routes. Remember though, dungeons adhere to a certain hierarchy and a certain sort of thing. So if you place things that don't make sense for monstrous dungeons, you can start to run into problems. So just bear that in mind with your. Don't think like humans when building this.
Why we think like filthy humans, eh?
That's it. So for a moment though, Sus, it might be an idea to sort of say that you're going to build one of those, and then let skip over you, and then let Grunkle Bun draw something else, if that makes sense, so you can have a better.
Gotcha.
placement.
Because basically what I was thinking in my mind is a tunnel that leads to the sanctum, and it's full of trap. Like it's got a trap in it.
That sounds awesome. Yes.
So it's like I'm wondering, do I just do that all in one go effectively? Or like tunnel for now and trap it later?
Yeah.
When do we end? Like, how far do we go to? How many things we draw?
So you've got on that list which is in the Discord, so you should all be looking at it. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 things to draw.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So we do one of each.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay. I thought we could do multiple. Okay.
Gotcha. That makes
Sorry,
more sense.
that was me being unclear. No, so you tick them off the list, and then.
All right. how big are these rooms when we design these?
Like they recommend 3x3 or 5x5, but
3x3 or 5x5.
and I think
All
this
right,
would be
well,
good to like adhere to that as we're starting out. We can change it later between session.
right.
It's just to get
Yeah,
you
no,
for a
I'm
feel
just
for that more than anything else.
yeah, I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around exactly what we're doing here.
Would it be useful if we drew our houses or rooms before we, throw in the rest of this dungeon? Because
Yeah.
they might take up space.
So I guess I'm gonna do a 3x3 trap room where you get to the stairs of the sanctum then.
Okay, sure.
So that'd be like this, right?
You asked me a question, Derek. Sorry, what was that?
Well, you said we've each got rooms and they're on the side of the sanctum.
So
Would it be more useful if we got our room squares so that we know what rooms to draw around?
okay, so this is on a second level. So while it's sort of conceptually the sanctum's on that page, it's a second level of your dungeon. So
Right.
you don't have to worry about
Dungeons,
your rooms.
yeah, like dungeons the base level and the sanctum's like the basement.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So
So-
what we draw is not gonna mess with our rooms.
No, you
Yeah.
still get your
So-
rooms are like also kind of as big within reason as you want, and you can sort of aesthetically talk about them and describe them because they're more narratively, so you don't have to worry about drawing them.
Hey,
Because
that's good.
yeah, like if adventurers get to your rooms, something's gone terribly wrong for you. So,
Oh no, it's gone terribly right.
oh, okay.
Alright,
So
what
example.
I'm thinking of this trap room
Yep.
is since we have like bones all over the floor
Yep.
motif going,
Mhm.
basically just like hide little trip mines basically in bones scattered around the room, just like
Okay.
skulls and chest cavities just full of little, effectively like little trip mines and bombs and shit.
Okay, so there's some example mechanisms: alarm, blades, collapsing roof, darts, falling rocks, fire, gas, magical, moving walls, nets, pit, poison, spears, spell, or spikes. Which one do you like?
Let's go fire. Let's say they if they trigger a trap in this room and it just kind of explodes on a little ball of fire.
Fantastic. And examples of triggers: disguised denizen, false door, hidden sentry, item usage, item removal, magic detection, pressure plate, sound, or tripwire. So what's
Yeah, tripwires.
tripwires?
So that's full of
Fantastic, cool.
tripwires and little fire bombs
So
hidden in all these
what I
skulls and shit.
what I imagine you've done is you've kind of hollowed out the bone, treated them, and they have like sort of a volatile, like chemical mixture in there that when the tripwire swings, it shakes them all up and they just explode, shrapnel of bone going everywhere as you basically rain down fiery bones upon your.
Yeah, exactly. This little
Perfect.
just
Where's the
little
trap room?
little landmine.
Where's your trap room?
Do you see that 3x3 square, Drew, or no?
Oh, I see it, but I
It's,
think it needs to
by
be
the
not
stairs.
connected. I think you need to put it just under somewhere in.
Yeah, it can't be connected because
Maybe.
don't forget one of the boxes is an actual stairway leading to your sanctum.
Oh, I thought we had to draw from the sanctum. This just
No,
goes anywhere.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, so Derek, I think you've put just a random blob somewhere in the middle of the.
It was in the top left corner. I left like there's 4 squares. You can just have any.
How do I delete this guy?
Okay. So this is meant to be quite a time-consuming process, folks, but I think it's really fun, and it's one of the things I really enjoy about it because you get the layer. It feels like you're definitely a monstrous beast, and
Comes ours.
Can you
Derek,
delete
can you
this?
delete that,
or-
please?
Yeah, how do I delete this 3x3 square then?
Could
You just highlight it, and then you go to the pointer.
Okay, there we go.
select move, and then yeah. Derek, can you delete that blob, please? Please.
yeah.
Ah,
Could Mr. Dungeon Master or whoever the good guy bastard is that we're gonna kill maybe make a new page and then we can switch between the layers so we know what layer we're on. And you can put a little square being like this is layer to down, this is layer to up. And then
okay, 2 seconds.
would that help or not? I'm just trying to be useful.
So it'll be something like that, and then we connect it later.
Yeah. copy and paste.
This is just a placeholder graphics, folks. Level 1. There we go. And I'm going to move it to the map layer, hopefully, and layer. It's on the map layer. There we go.
I demand this be leveled. This is named Level X Supreme Awesome People Only.
Good luck with that. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so that's your trap room.
Yeah, so it's something like that where we draw the room and then we connect tunnels and shit
Yeah.
later on.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
Do you want to put in some bones and fire to represent your trap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna draw up some little bombs and things in it
Nice.
while everyone else is gone.
Who's drawing next?
You, Gruncle.
Right. Well, we know that we want the stairs at the end, right? So the stairs are what, 3 by 3? Is that right? Is that right?
It'd be 5 by 5, 3 by 3. It can take a weird shape, but that's just the recommendation they give, Uncle. So
For the stairs.
for just any room you draw, they recommend either 3 by
Well,
3
these
or
are
5
just
by
talking about
5.
stairs. Like, so
Yeah.
we know that we want the stairs to be just on the other side of the trap. So
Yeah.
And the stairs like going down at 2 by 2, so probably stick to the same thing, right?
Yeah, sure. You can like choose the shape and stuff, but keep it 3 by 3 or 5 by 5 now. We can like tweak
Well,
it.
but hang on, the stairs are 2 by 2. That's what I mean.
Well, I mean,
That was me filling space. I don't know
Oh, I
what.
see.
so they can open
govern
up
the
as well. They
stairs.
can narrow down as well, Uncle. So it's
Yeah.
and this
That's-
is like level 2 of the dungeon. This is like
No, I
level
know.
1.
I know.
So
I know.
feel free to.
So I want to put them at the end. So
Yeah.
Let me just have a look. Shape. Let's go. Mark the stairs. I'm gonna put them in red because red's. I'm gonna put them in the end.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the GM layer. And I'm going to freehand. Oh, actually, I could use the text function, folks. Why am I subjecting you to?
There you go. These are the stairs going down.
Okay.
then we draw
Leave
some
some space to connect them by a brief tunnel, even if it's just a.
Oh, okay.
Um.
I can't select it.
Okay.
Now I've drawn it. I can't select it.
Okay, that's not good.
Oh, I can now.
Okay, cool.
Turn it. I can't move it.
Okay.
I'll just delete it. I'll delete it and redraw it.
Yeah, that's good. Good work, buddy. Getting there. Okay. This is just so I remember, folks, and you can see easily.
Red. These are the stairs.
So, Derek, you think about what you want to pick off that list, and I will.
Oh, I know exactly what I'm picking off that
Yeah.
list.
Nice.
These are the stairs, so we know that they're at the end. Do you want me to actually connect with the tunnel?
No, that should be good. I think color coding it red is a good idea.
How do I draw lines in this? It sounds ridiculous, right? But
You
is there
can
a
use
particular way of drawing
the under the shape. You can draw like line or polygon, or draw shape rectangular.
it? Yeah. How do I draw that? Because if I click once, it just does that. Do I hold it down?
Think shift to snap to grid, and then maybe control to like have a series of them connected. Also,
right,
you can
nothing I do
you,
works.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's like that. Isn't it?
Also, folks, you can also feel free to draw a better job of this during the time between this, and then I can upload them in there. So, like, it's good to, get into it and get excited and draw representations, but obviously, you don't have to do
Oh,
a
so
work
so
of
this
art.
is us drawing the blueprints, and then the imps are gonna like build the good stuff before next week or year, right?
Ish, except for the imps are building this, and this is the process of you building it. But yeah, like, if that's where you want to think of it, it's perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure these imps do a good job.
Yeah, well, they're very helpful. Bit stupid, though. Bit stupid.
Yeah, but that means they do as they're told, because they don't realise that they're in the company of intelligences.
Yes. So what are you planning on drawing, Derek?
Or me? Well, you see, every good stronghold needs, if they got the goblins, right, which I will get my goblins, right, they're going to have to ride the wargs. So I'm going to need a den of big, ravenous wargs that are going to be riding. You're going to get the goblins on the wargs, and then have their little swords and be like, death. And then it's not actually for the bad guys, so for me, so that I can actually get some training, and then they can fight me, and I can fight them, and then I'll get big and strong. But I'm already big and strong. But if I fight the wargs, then I get even bigger and stronger.
Okay, I put some creature descriptors there, so
All right. Okay.
just in case people need them when the time comes. How are you getting on,
But
Uncle Bun? I see you're doing some color. Are those steps going to be actually coloured in as they will?
Yeah.
Nice. So what I think I should do, Derek, is have you start drawing your room out. What room were you drawing?
I'm drawing the creature.
Lair.
The creature lair.
Fantastic.
Now I don't. They need. I don't want them going into the traps. So I want them to decide. I hope that they don't have to go through the traps to get to the outside.
That's very. Also, think about the dungeon pecking order. Are they going to be closer to the inner sanctum, or are they going to be right at the entrance?
These should be at the entrance. Because these is dogs, the big.
Dogs.
No, they're big guard dogs. So they need to be near. Where's the entrance? Where the gate to our glorious dungeon, Mr. DM?
Yes. So the cave entrance, I think it's a little bit freeform in there, and one of the rooms will become the starting point, and people will trickle through depending how you lay out. So and they can change. So.
Fellow beasties, I suggest that we draw a simple entrance at the opposite end of the dungeon, so that we know, that they start over there, we start over here, and we can have a nice snack and a meal while the rest of our dungeon kills all those stupid heroes that think they're all fancy like and entering our dungeon. Is that all right?
Good idea. Yes. I mean, the guard dog should be near the entrance, so definitely. We should
Yeah.
It should be at the other end, as far from the trap as we get. It should be before that.
Absolutely. Sus, are you okay with that?
Yeah, it should be fine.
Nice. Okay.
So you can have multiple entrances to your dungeon, or you can have one designated entrance, which you're doing there. So.
Here's my suggestion, so that we got a nice big dungeon to draw in. Sus, Grunkle Bun, you're right with me, dungeon entrance.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Oh.
So, what are you drawing there, Derek? Are you drawing the creature lair as the dungeon's sort of entrance? Is that correct?
Yeah, this is there's a big wall around our big old dungeon, with the skulls and the spikes, and saying we're big and scary. So
Fantastic.
this is the big dungeon wall. It's very spiky and scary.
Nice. Perfect.
Is that all right?
That's fine. That's just filling out the outline of your dungeon.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. That's not actually a room or anything, so it's not ticking off one of those, but it gives you a framework to work in. Perfect. Love it.
Yes.
Good thinking. And in case you hadn't realised, folks, these wicked ones have determined they're building a stronghold, which is one of the many layers they can choose. So, strongholds have war banners, and they allow you to pay minion salaries one tier higher than you'd usually do, and also recruit special monstrous beasts and special fighters. So that's something to look forward to. They're not subtle as the hideout, they're not as industrious as the Forge. They're not as magical as the Enclave, or dedicated to the dark gods of the temples. But they suit a purpose, and I'm hoping that my players will make good use of it, because they're going to need to, because the whole world is out there to get them. Okay.
So you've drawn the entrance, is that right?
What? She. I thought it might be good to make sure we know where the gate is, so we can put all our scary stuff out.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
So where are you going to
Is-
draw your creature lair, Derek? Because you need to do
I mean, you see, if that's a creature lair, right, it's important that a creature lair knows close to the exit, and they got a nice big area to run around in. Therefore, they will have a 5x5 creature lair.
Okay.
Can I make a suggestion?
All right, what's that? What's that? You think you're smart?
Yes, like rather than a creature lair, why don't we? You could make this the stronghold room of our choice, which we could have. What's it called? Bestiary. You always have fresh mounts, which come with an edge. We choose one, and obviously, if we're choosing guard dogs, then as in you having wargs, they could be mounts rather than.
Sorry, I can't hear you over this bard that keeps playing all this noise over your what you say that again?
I was just saying that you could always, instead of making it a creature lair, you could have it as a best, which is a stronghold, which means that we always have fresh mounts in the shape of wargs, and you could choose them to be aquatic, armored, fast, flying, intelligent, magical, or terrifying.
Well, I told you what, I like the idea of having a mount to ride into battle, to do battle with. Can we make a mount lair?
So if you choose to take the major room for your dungeon theme, it will be the bestiary, but it will lack materials. You'll have to raid to get the assortments before it becomes functional.
Okay, well, I mean, we could just have a walk minion room, right? Instead.
Yeah.
We could train them later. We could have a trained mount later.
Oh, you see, I appreciate your idea, which is we can ride the orcs into battle, but as cool as it sounds, right, and I think that is a really nice idea, they're not going to be big enough for me. Maybe for you and you, right? But I don't mean to hurt your feelings and all, but you's a weak little shitbag, right? I need me a big mount, right? So the creature.
Look, Derek, you're not thinking about it. If you can't ride one, you ride two. You strap one to each leg and you ride them both into battle.
Wait, does that work?
Of course.
Wait.
Why wouldn't it? You know, then you're standing up and you're then just charging forwards. Got a strap to each leg. You just stand on them as you ride them forward.
That makes 2 legs into it. 4 + 4, 8 legs, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, all right. Okay. This is my major room for my dungeon thing. It might lack materials, but this is going to have big wargs that we can ride into battle later on, because I can strap one to each leg.
The best way. It's going to be amazing. And also one day, maybe if you manufacture a walk centipede, you could just have lots of them just piling in behind them.
Oh, nice. I like this. Can we have a wargapede?
Definitely something we should work on.
So
what are you? So you've drawn
I
that
think-
room. Like, what is that room that you've drawn?
I think if you see, we want something to ride, and it sounds like that a major room for your dungeon theme is what we're going for. and that dungeon major room being raiding mounts that we can all ride into battle and be like, look how cool we are. We have mounts. Be scared of us. Oh, even these two pussies.
So you're choosing, just for clarity's sake, you're choosing a beastery room, a major room, and that's what this is here.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, that's what the suggestion of dear old Grunkleban was.
So begin filling in details to represent that.
Yes.
I'm going to note down it lacks materials, so that may be something you want to do on your first proper raid. Like in the trap room there, sus. Which brings us round to you again.
All right. So we have the firebomb the firebone tripwire room.
Yep.
What were the other rooms we put together?
We've got the stairway leading to the sanctum. And we have a major room being picked out, but it lacks the materials, which is basically your mount and stables, your monstrous warg pit. We'll find a descriptor of that. So what I want to do is to draw out a representation of them, and then we'll go give people like a tour of the dungeon and describe what each room looks like and give them a better feel.
Gotcha.
That might be the most efficient way to do it. As time's ticking on, and there's still a lot to get through. We've done good progress, but I'd like to.
Yeah, I'm reconnecting. I think my roll 20 crashed.
Oh, good. But you've got the
Alright,
Discord list, so you've got an empty room, a tunnel, a major room's already taken. You've got a creature lair. You've got a minor room of your choice. You've got a trick.
Where is Derek put up?
Up and left quite a long way.
Oh, spy the entrance in the
Oh,
top.
okay. And then that was a what again?
Major room.
Vestry.
It's
Oh, okay.
Major room.
Oh, okay. So it's like a room under construction.
yeah.
Gotcha.
It's the best room.
So we have a trap, a major room, and a trick.
Yep. You can also pick a minor room of your choice, I believe, as well.
So what? We still need an empty room, a tunnel, a creature lair, a minor room, a lock, and a stairway. Is that what
We've
we're
got the stairway,
using?
I believe.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought he did a trick room.
No.
What are the minor rooms?
So the minor rooms are delving tunnel, a long
It's,
excavation that usually around 10 squares. After building it, the GM makes a discovery roll and takes a plus 1d10 on the roll. A guard post, a single minion assigned to this room will always begin an invasion here. Minion lair, you can assign a single minion that lairs in this room. They take +1 position while defending this room. A prison, a storage room, a torture chamber. Obviously, torture chambers good at torturing people. Prison.
What are we thinking for a minor room we should build?
That's a good question. I don't know.
So we can either have a minion lair, guard post.
Prison would be good.
Prison would be good. Torture chamber would probably be good.
I think the torture check so that we can see them squeal, or a minion there so they can do the stuff for us and we can sit at the back and enjoy ourselves.
Sure, let's do a torture chamber.
Nice.
This kobold knows what's good.
So we should probably do that. No idea where to put this. Let's put it over here for reasons.
So you're going to be able to connect these rooms with small, like, tunnels and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's the free sort of.
Yeah. So that'll be our torture chamber.
Fantastic. Gunkelbun, what are you going to be doing?
And then, where do I list this torture chamber at? Do I list it on my personal sheets or?
No, I'd just make a. I mean, because it's only like traps and like minions and stuff that like get assigned to you personally.
Right, yeah.
So this would just be like on the dungeon. So I'd make a note.
All right,
that.
cool. I'll just put a note torture room.
Yeah.
So, Gunkelbun is going to. So this is the torture room, yes?
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So, Gunkelbun is going to make a trick. It's going to be a maze. So they all wander around, not knowing where to go. They get confused.
Fantastic.
Do 5.5. Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. What form is this maze going to take? It's going to be.
It's got large metal sheets sticking up, like forming walls.
Like
They're really hot, so you can't touch them.
Okay. Is it kind of like a mirror room?
No.
Okay.
Not mirrors. It's just large metal sheets in the hot. You can't touch them.
Okay. Cool. Didn't know if they were polished metal sheets.
Dark iron.
What's your calling called again, Uncle?
My calling, Shaman.
Shaman. That's. I thought it wasn't 100%. Go. That is looking horrific. Torture chamber. Love it.
Hey, you can't have a torture chamber without a paddle.
So I thought that was a giant like spikes, like sort of like a hairbrush. That's beautiful. This is why we're gonna have a go around and like explain it. Okay, nice. That's great.
There you go.
Derek, what are you going to be filling in?
And what me are filling left? We've got a trap done.
We got a lock.
A trick.
So what we've got left is a lock. We've got a creature lair. We have a tunnel, an empty room, and that's about it.
Does it have to be a properly empty room, or can it be an empty room that is actually an ambush room?
Well, like, because minions can, like, randomly appear in rooms, I believe. It could very well be a room that you hope your minions end up using to waylay.
Alright. Alright, I'm going to go for an empty room.
Mm-hmm.
That's because if they don't get to the big arena, I want the little arena.
Okay.
Alright?
Yep.
Right, it's a dueling arena.
Okay.
It's where the bravest go.
Fantastic.
Can I put a little bit of fire along the edge so that we can be like, oh my god, it can be like a dramatic arena.
Yep, that's fine.
An empty room, but yeah. All right. This can be the entrance. It can be in front of the trap room because if they think they succeeded, they certainly have not. All right. Let's go for a little 3x3.
Mm-hmm.
A nice archway in, an archway out. And then.
So what you can do is you can have like a groove in a circular thing where you can take the oil that you use to light your macabre candles and you can pour it in and set fire to it so it's a little ring of flame around it. How does that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Perfect. Okay. Sus, you're back up.
All right, we've got our beautiful dungeon room.
Yep. Your torture. Or is it your prison or torture chamber? It's your torture chamber.
Torture chamber.
Yep, I'm just going to make a note. So.
Full of paddles and whips.
Yep. Torture chamber. Okay.
So what do we have left on this?
We
list?
have a
tunnel?
lock, a tunnel, a creature lair. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna do... When you do a lock, do you do a whole room with a lock, or do we just add it somewhere?
It will be like a room, but it's locked.
Okay.
So, feel free to envision like a sort of portcullis, those rooms with double portcullis that's locked and.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically a barricade. I'll like.
Okay, sure. I'll do a lock room then.
Nice.
And let's put that. So far we have stairs.
Yeah.
Trap.
Yeah.
This is empty room.
Mm-hmm.
Torture chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Maze room, and then uncompleted stables.
Beastery, yeah.
Okay, let's just to be twice the asshole. Let's just put a lock room after the maze.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll do a lock room right there.
Nice.
And so I write that down as a tier 1 lock on my sheet.
Yes, you put a tier 1 lock. Locks are used to buy time while defending, to set up proper defences, manoeuvre around your dungeon, or beat a hasty retreat. They also serve to push adventurers away from sensitive areas. It's best to remember the locks won't keep adventurers out forever. Given enough time and determination, adventurers can push their way through any lock in front of them. Locks are rated between tier 1 to 3. Their door materials can be like bone, crystal, iron bars, magical field, portcullis, stone, wood. Lock mechanisms: arcane, bar, bolt, heavy object, mortise lock, padlock, password, pulley, pressure plate, puzzle, rim lock, timed. So feel free to work with that.
And that's as far as the mechanisms go for it?
Yeah.
Sure, let's say the door is just like barred by like just massive bones.
Nice.
And Sure, we'll leave it there.
Fantastic. Grunkelburn?
Ah. Okay, what have we got left?
I believe we've got a tunnel and a creature lair.
Let's do the tunnel.
Okay.
Okay, so how did, like, I don't really understand the tunnel bit.
It's up to 10 squares of tunnel. So.
But, like, all of these rooms are going to be connected anyway.
By
aren't they?
small tunnels, right? So you can have like 5 sort of tunnels, but you know, you can use that to like join up more more further things, because it can be up to 10 squares.
I'm still slightly confused
Okay.
because there's a lot of squares between all of it.
Yeah, that's kind of, we might have to squish this like a bit together, folks, due to that reason. So,
Can we
Yeah.
just draw some tunnels between them and then make stuff later? Like make rooms of the tunnels later.
Like,
no.
I mean, like,
No?
Like, this can be small connecting tunnels, but like, for instance, this one is like quite far away, so you're gonna have to sort of you're gonna have to sort of think about how you want it to sort of. You can keep this sort of general layout, but you have to have them connected by at least one path for you to transverse, if that makes sense, because you have to move around the dungeon.
Right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to like interrupt the flow of things, because you've been creative playing it down, and we can move things around properly.
because I'll draw the tunnel because I think that Derek probably has an idea of when he wants to ride the walk when we eventually get. So I'm gonna leave that to him, but I don't really have anywhere to put the tunnel at the moment because we don't really know where everything is.
No.
So
Derek, you want to set up a creature lair?
Oh yeah, do I want to set up a creature there, right? You see, we've already got the walks, yeah? And we're gonna be riding the big walks, and if we do really well, we get to ride the hippogriffs and the stuff into battle. And I'm looking forward to that. But in the meantime, you need the little creatures to guard your lair and against the world. So what I'm thinking now, what is scarier? What is scarier than spiders that can eat people, right? And let's give him devil powers, right? Gunklebun, can you fill a creature lair with devil spiders, with evil spiders, with like red glowy eyes and stuff?
yes, I can. Yes, I mean, there's lots
Yeah.
of levels. Yes, we can. do
'Cause-
those.
Excellent. That's what we need. Like if we just get enough spiders and they can put nets and stuff, and then it's a win-win, right? If they get scared, they run away, and they bloody should. If they get stuck, well, it's easy pickings, and we get a free dinner.
Gosh, please stay in the right place. Oh, there we go.
Oh shit!
Is
we've got
corrupted, so that represents the demonic influences, and terrifying.
Yeah.
Okay,
perhaps.
fantastic. Love it.
I think if these is corrupted, terrifying, they should warm them up for the terrifying chamber. So I'm suggesting that we draw a little. No. Not. We need a nice big section for them to get lost in right before we go to the torture chamber.
Nice. Okay. So what I want you to all think about is kind of roughly how you're going to sort of like make a part, like sort of connect these up so you can move around your own dungeon and it makes sense, and if that makes, so you can actually walk between all these points to get to your inner sanctum, because at the moment you can't do that, and that's yeah.
Okay. Well, I kind of just want a big old secret entrance going like this. Yeah.
Okay, you can build in secret things, but that's something you're gonna have to work towards, my friend. So
Oh. Oh, right. Okay.
you've got to have dream. You've got to dream big in Wicked Ones. This is, that's Derek's dream, which is great. So where do you want to position these rooms? Because they have to be like within, like 5 squares for you to connect it to tunnels. And one of these is going to have to be the first room that people are going to wander into from your cave. So that's something to think about. Or multiple. You can have multiple sort of entry points.
I'm going to suggest something right at the start, but it's obviously open to interpretation.
Do we need to condense this down a bit, or?
Yeah, you've got the idea. So it's sort of layout, and so what I want you to think about is like, almost if you're taking a sort of path, through it, and the path can branch off and have multiple sort of connections, but you've got to kind of have a cohesive order so you can actually navigate the dungeon. If that makes sense. And the tunnel has to fit in somewhere, which may... there. And also think, is this the kind of layout you'd want in a monstrous dungeon? Does it respect the hierarchy? Is everything... You want, ideally, things closer to your inner sanctum that makes sense to be closer to you, and you want things that are, like, lower on the dungeon pecking order, further away from your inner sanctum. If that makes sense. Okay, so there's a proposed layout.
Yeah, that's a proposal for the team.
So basically, you have two tunnel points, like the beastery and the trick room will hook up to the main entrance, so there'd be like 2 entrances. And the trick room then leads to a lock room, which then branches off to an empty room. And then a spider room, then your torch chamber. Is that what everybody's agreed on? Or does anybody else have any inputs onto?
I think I'm okay with that.
Right, I've got another.
Okay.
I mean, wait. See, we want to make sure that we don't have to deal with all these spookies, right? That would be silly. So how about right? We have a super secret tunnel guarded by a lock going there, and then we can get to our rooms.
Bear in mind, though, if the adventurers do get through that lock, they have a straight access to your sanctum.
Yeah, I think you should probably put them through other rooms.
But I want to get out quickly. I don't want to go through a torture chamber. Oh wait, no, I do want to go through a torture chamber.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I mean, it's the best bit, isn't it? Like the screams of those who are suffering under our wrathful gaze.
Oh,
Everything
yes.
else.
That's a good idea, actually. But I don't want to go through the traps because I've already stepped in those a few times, and
We
he's
move
really
these,
good at
we can move
traps.
these rooms closer together. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
is there a reason we've got them so spread out?
So I'm trying to duplicate the page, but it's not duplicating the contents of it. I don't know if that's possible to do on this, unfortunately.
All right. Well, you see, I've made my architectural designs with my intelligence, so it's up to you to offer alternatives. I think.
Okay,
I mean, we should make them always go through the trap room, shouldn't we?
Well, I don't want to go through a trap room. I don't like traps.
What we could do is we could put the lock between the entrance and the maze, and then they just choose if they go into the trap room or the spider room, effectively.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know if I can just like move this whole
So,
room.
what it might be idea, shall we move to a different page and we can each like we use like abbreviations for the rooms, then you can sort of jumble them about and then come up with your final design, and then we move back onto this page. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Okay, so we'll just draw some shapes. Jeez, I haven't moved you guys across, so I'll start doing that. So create some coloured shapes. We could probably pick a colour for each different room, right? There's only 9, so pick 9 colours. I've started you off with a pink one. Feel free to like say what that is. Oh, create a...
Right, pink. Pinks is for girlses, and girlses choose the wimpy route, so maze.
Wow, folks, this is not the official tone of this channel. And we don't encourage like sexism. I would assume that this is Derek role-playing that. So, but there we go. Okay, some clarification for that. We are very much support.
Sorry, would you like it out of clarification that we don't purport sex here? This is really part of the fantasy world that we,
Fantastic.
you know.
I
Sorry.
don't think it is. I don't think it is part of the fantasy world. I think it's
No.
a red card situation.
I think you're very
I
right
think it's
there.
something we
Grunkleman.
agreed. It's something we agreed that we weren't going to touch on.
Yes. It's definitely, that is very true. That's on our notes.
Redacted.
Redacted, folks. The whole dungeon shifts as demonic
Right.
forces. Stop that. There is no discrimination between the sexes here, apart from, I guess, biological roles where women have children. and men
So
have
I think
fancy
what Derek read is pink is for unicorns, or unicorns are weak, goodly creatures.
Yes.
And
Yes.
therefore,
Yes.
Look, I don't care what I said. I'm just looking for a good fight, all right? And if they don't want to fight properly, they go through the maze because there's wimps.
So, maze is the trick room, and pink is trick. Okay, there we go, folks.
I think it's a good idea to have a couple of exits from the maze. One leads into the spider room, one leads into the trap room.
Seems good.
Oh,
do you wanna...
so they think they succeeded and then they failed.
Yes, exactly.
yeah, I like that.
Okay, do you want to start drawing boxes on as well, and I'll start writing what they
So
are?
I'm going to draw the pink one because
Yeah.
the maze room is mine.
2 secs.
So-
Yeah, you're okay. I've put on a pink box. Feel free to move it, or draw your own.
Oh,
on.
I can't see it. I can't see it.
We can't see it.
Can you not?
I
Okay.
think no, you've probably got it on your layer.
Okay, I'm just going to delete it. Okay, there we go. Feel free to draw on there.
Okay. I mean, it might be a good idea for one person to do it so they can move everything.
Yeah. Okay, who wants to be the
Alright.
drawer, folks?
I volunteer as drawer. Okay, there's a room.
Right. If you make it 5, if you make it 5 by 5 instead of 3 by 3.
I don't know. So you want a you're thinking
big maze. Yeah.
right?
Big pink maze.
Is the map okay? That one is the maze.
Okay, cool.
We have a maze.
Fantastic.
All right. And you're saying we have
2 exits. One leads to the. So like we put let's say one this way, one this way. One is the spider.
so this is trap.
Spider.
Creature.
Okay. That is probably a lot more simple, just writing it on there. I approve. We're getting there, folks.
And then we could corridor them together with the long corridor.
So you're using the tunnel, is that?
Yeah, so maybe the tunnel between there and the creature room, maybe.
Yep. Okay.
And they both lead to the lock.
Yeah.
And then behind there, what else we got? Where are we? So what are we missing? We haven't got the empty room done yet. Tunnel we've done. Creature we've done.
I think you mean the glorious dueling room.
Yeah, the empty room.
Yeah,
has
we haven't done the dueling room.
Mhm.
We've done the creature
Yeah.
there.
Torture
Two
chamber.
We
empty
haven't done
room.
the,
Above
we
that,
haven't
we
done
could
the-
do torture chamber. So if they go, they go up from the empty room, torture chamber.
Yeah, that's good.
I see. So this is off to the side.
Let's get some variety while they're doing this.
And then we have
Follow
what
them.
do we have left? So we have
Then
that.
we have the stairs.
that,
Then we have the
that.
stairs at the end.
Torture room, minor room, trap, trick, block. So the last one's the stairs and then sanctum.
I think that's everything, isn't it? Oh no, we need the bestiary as well.
Bestiary.
If the bestiary was kind of in the big open area by the start gate, then we
So
have
basically, we just have it right next to there, so we have it just here.
yeah.
So it's just off the entrance.
You to bear in mind that you may want to protect, vital rooms because adventurers can trash things. Don't forget, or I think so.
We could always have it branch off the lock room to like the south.
No, but if these is our mounts, if we ride in these into battle, then we need them by the entrance so that when we go out on patrol on raids, they're easy to ride.
We also don't want the adventurers to come in and just kill them. That's the
Yeah,
other
well,
thing.
why? Yeah, but why would adventurers come in? We're big and scary, right? We got skulls.
Well, they're going to come in because we're attracting them with gold. That's how we're taking them in, isn't it?
You could always
Idiots.
put the trap in front of the bestiary, so it's like your own private
Yeah,
bestiary.
you
so
could have the bestiary off the trap room. You could put it here instead.
Or like this.
No, I mean, yes. Well, I meant off of the trap room, not off the tunnel. But yeah. So essentially, if you put it off of the trap room, they have 2 options. They can either go to the bestiary or go straight through the tunnel to where they want to.
Okay, so as it stands, this is your entrance. Somebody's going to come down. They're going to come to the maze. They're going to get so they either go through
Split
the
up,
creature
hopefully.
or the trap.
They'll get split up. So hopefully
yeah.
they split at that point and go through different ways.
Yeah.
They're weaker then to face the creature in the
Yeah.
trap. And then they probably come through this tunnel.
Yeah,
The
maybe
lock,
go
because
to the
everything joins
bestiary.
up. The block room.
Tunnel, they hit the lock,
They-
they may get repelled, go back through. Maybe go through the maze, get split up again. And then you have your final. You have your empty room, and then you have your torture. Yeah, that's looking.
Yes.
Everybody happy with that?
Yep.
Works for me.
We need to delete that.
Well, I'm going to move over to...
We need to delete that.
Yeah. Okay. Does everybody, like, remember that page? Roughly?
Yeah.
So we need to draw that now, but we
do.
make it
So I'm going to
neat.
move you back. Fantastic. Okay, there we go. It's all yours, folks.
Okay. So could Derek delete some of the stuff? Because I think we need to get rid of outer walls in the other room.
So it was... Was it trap down or creature down?
Shall I move one of you players onto the room so you can, like, relay where it is and coordinate people? So they can actually cross.
I mean, I can remember where it is.
Okay,
it's fine.
Cool.
Like, so if you could we delete this stuff at the end?
Cool.
And then if you just mark the entrance, and then I'll put the maze at the first.
So here's the entrance. So
Where's the entrance?
I'm pinging it. It's where the skulls and the little...
I can't see your pinging. Yeah, I mean, I can see it there, but yeah.
So here. So you probably want to put it in the trap
But
room
we
here.
need to delete the stuff around here, though.
Yeah.
We should stop drawing stuff.
Yeah. So
like.
So you want to move the trick room up here?
Yeah. Let's stop drawing stuff because we need to move stuff to the entrance. So can we delete all of this stuff?
So all those green lines, let's get rid of. I mean, the outlay thing's fine for now. We can clean this up, but I would like to get a sort of idea of, like, what we want, because it's kind of important, and this is your framework for your dungeon. I mean, you are pretty new to the dungeon thing, so it's not going to be perfect necessarily, though it's looking pretty good.
So it was it?
So moving into here, so there's only a couple of lines between, like, a corridor. So if we go to the entrance, so from the entrance, basically in here. They come into there. Do you want to move the trap room a little bit to, like, one closer? The maximum we have is 2.
Yeah, you have.
One. Yep, that's it.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Link here. Here. Yep, that's great. And that's the bestiary, bestiary. The trap rooms. Here. Excellent. And then we need the spider room coming off. And the spider room needs to be up. It is. So.
And then it was... The lock's like here. All right, because it's the tunnel was between the trap and the spiders, and then it led to the lock. And then torture room is above lock.
A corridor, which, well, yes, so we need to do a corridor leading to the lock for 10 squares, so we can go 1, 2, 3. No, we don't want to. 1, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. So can you move the lock room over to this way?
Yeah. So like here.
And then go. Yeah, you might want to move one down so that it's attached to the torture chamber. Because then you could put the torture chamber there. Probably there. There. And then where's the we got the empty room next. Yes.
Yeah, it was empty room, stairs, and then sanctum.
So empty room's there, and then stairs. Move. I think that is the starting structure. That fulfills everything, I think.
Did we want to move the bestiary off of the empty room so you can ride your war pig into your arena?
It's not a bad idea, is it? Derek, do you think?
Sorry, I was muted.
Sorry.
What am I connecting to where?
So what Sash just said is, did you want to, instead of putting it there, you could put the best next to your arena, so you could ride your war pig.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. I want to ride it into battle. Okay. Right, that goes there then. How's that?
Fantastic. It's looking good. Okay, folks. So as you were where's your tunnel?
The tunnel is here.
Yes. As you were
Indeed.
tunneling
That's-
away, an underground river cuts across the dungeon tunnel, filling it with a egg-like smell, and it sort of bubbles and it's warm, and the smell of sulfur permeates the air. So there's a light river cutting across the dungeon tunnels.
Is it taste nice? I like eggs.
It's I wouldn't drink it. It does not taste nice to the tongue.
Right.
Oh, doesn't it?
Okay.
Bad eggs, sulfury eggs. It's good.
I'm just going to put. I want to freehand that. So I'm going to put a stream coming through here. So you can still get across it. It's just you're likely to be a bit smelly and wet.
It's fine, isn't it? That's not a bad thing.
No,
Smelly's good.
Just bear that in mind. And you can always
Back in a moment. Need to go to the empty room and do my business.
Okay, fantastic. I think that's pretty much set up now, folks. So what I'm going to do, now that we have the dungeon visualized, and I'm going to remove these tags to their appropriate location. Chamber, trap level 1. Have you marked the trap on your sheet? Sus?
I have the trap and the lock.
Okay. This is going to be fantastic. It's not the trick room. It's the trick room. What I'm going to do is have you each describe a room, and also have a little montage of how you build that room with the imps. So you only have to do it for one room, but the montage. But I want you to describe each of your rooms as we go in, if that's okay with you. We'll wait for Uncle to come back, and then we're. How are we doing for time, folks? We shouldn't have too long left So we've gone through quite. You know, this is by far the longest thing, but I think did very well with time for mostly. Hopefully you're enjoying it as well so far. What's your initial impressions of the system and the feel for it? Oh, wait.
It's interesting. It's figuring out how to build the dungeon took a little bit, but it's probably to be expected.
Yeah, it does say that it's going to be the longest process as well. I thought it was quite fun, even though it was long. Like, I liked how much you were like thinking about like the rooms, how they feel, how they flowed with the dungeon. It felt like you were really immersing yourself in that, which was, you know, enjoyable from my point of view.
Yeah, it's been fun so far.
Excellent. Good to hear.
I like
wants to kill me.
I likes having a big home that I can sit at the back and tell people what to do. So I'm feeling pretty happy right now.
Yeah, that's good. So feel free to put some questions in chat. I can't really interact, but if there's some quiet points, I'll like try and answer them and stuff. I'm pretty approachable, and we usually have a sort of debrief at the end of sessions to sort of talk things through. Thank you for the follows. Uncle Bun has returned though, so we'll give you a nice tour of this dungeon.
Can't find it.
You right there?
What was that?
Okay, so what we're going to do, Grunkle Bun, is we're going to have a tour of the dungeon. You can montage how you assembled one of the rooms with your imps to give a little bit of... Because a couple of months have gone, so you can each have a little montage scene, sort of highlighting your natures or your trappings or how you worked. So, starting off first, the trick room. Grunkle Bun, that's your room. Do you want to describe how it looks?
Yes. So, as they enter the dungeon, they suddenly see in front of them a large cavernous room with large sheeted metal that goes from floor to ceiling with huge iron bolts both sides, hanging from the ceiling of bits of body parts, but bones like skulls, femurs, other such things, kneecaps as well. And the iron itself is hot to the touch. So they can't touch the iron walls because it'll scald them. And as they walk through, each corridor much looks like the rest, so they can't easily locate their way through. And Grunkleban stands there with the imps, and he commands them to raise the very metal out of the earth. And as they lumber and they pull the iron sheeting in place, he casts incantation to confuse those that travel through this place, to mystify them, binding corrupt demonic energies to each panel, casting sigils and runes into the very fabric of the dungeon.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Sus. The trap room's yours. Do you want to describe that?
I think Sus is currently in the little kobold's room right now.
It looks like Sus is off to one corner with their quieting kit, taking some strange liquids and sort of shuddering. Derek, you did the creature room, right?
Yeah, I.
What does it look like?
All right, look, all right. Imagine you get lost in some dark cave in the middle of a mountain, right? There's stagamites and stagatites all over, and it can get a little bit difficult to find your way around. But what's important is there's lots of nooks and crannies and cobwebs everywhere, and you might think, oh, there's a few spiders. That's a bit of an inconvenience. But alas, Grunklebum has promised plenty of demon spiders. All right, these is like 5 foot in size, and they will jump you and wrap you up and feed you to their young for dinner, or they'll prep a nice meal for us to eat you with. That's what matters. Good luck finding your way around this cave with lots of spiders in, big and small.
Yes, certainly the ones that laid the eggs were huge demonic spiders summoned from the pits. the resulting little spiderlings are more tarantula size, but they're certainly corrupted and certainly formidable creatures. Some of them like grow up to like boar size, but they're imposing creatures nevertheless. So that's them. Fantastic. Would you like to add creatures onto your sheet, Derek? So that's your room. So you put your
Yep.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, the lock room. Sus, are you back yet?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to describe the trap room?
The lock room is effectively just come into like a stone tunnel, or I mean like a stone kind of cavern.
Mm-hmm.
I guess fitting with the rest of the dungeon, it's probably about like 2-3 inches deep and just bone shards. And it's got 2 doors that are, I guess they'd just be like big stone doors. And you know how you put like a big wood bracer to block a door? It's effectively just like giant bones braced against the 2 sets of doors.
Fantastic. And your trap room. Do you want to do a montage for your trap room of how you and your imps like assembled this room as well as you describe it?
Yeah, it's just little skeletons just carting in bags and bags of bone shards to fill the whole room about ankle deep in bone shards. And then just scattered all throughout, there's just skulls and bones that are just hollowed out, filled with, effectively just like gunpowder and stuff,
Gotcha.
tripwires.
Yeah. So there's you with your little imps as you like they cut you bones. You sort of hollow them out with your tools. You fill them with gunpowder and you put them around. And there's like this whole network buried underneath the bone of tripwires.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I need one here. So you just rip the skull off of one of the little skeleton imps and
Wow.
start pouring gunpowder into it and laying it down.
Love it. And these are connected by a tunnel with this sulphurous stream. So what's the tunnel look? Is it smooth? Is it like jagged? How does that look, Grunkleban?
So the tunnel is basically it looks like the other walls, the maze. So no one's quite sure that they've actually exited the whole area. Just fits into the theme of have we walked back into the maze or not? Sure. And then as the stream of salt sort of trickles across the center of the corridor, do we need to draw it in?
I've drawn like a sort of. I've drawn
we
it.
can't
It's
see
kind
it.
of okay.
It's on the GM layer.
Well done, Plucky.
It's just sort of bubbling, and sort of you used to have these bubbles that pop, and then this you can see the sort of the gas and noxious vapors just rising. But still, you're bounded on each side by large iron bone paraphernalia.
There we go.
Every so often, you just hear an evil cackle.
Fantastic. The empty room.
Well, you see, you say this is empty, but in fact, lining along the corners of this room, all the way crevices, you will find candles of varying heights, almost welcoming a little bit. Because in this room, you may find your darkest adversary, or you may find absolutely nothing but tranquility. We never know. But in this room, real duels happen, proper fights, with no interruptions. It's just simple. Not like this trap stuff or this maze. Sometimes all you need is a bit of space.
Who was responsible for the torture chamber?
I was.
I'm very interested to hear what this room's like. Go for it, buddy.
It's kind of your standard fare of like racks and like chairs with bolts and cuffs and things to hold people down.
I mean,
and then it's just
there is. I hate to mention it, but there seems to be a cheese grater torture.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear you describe it.
And then it's just like
detail.
It's just like mechanical torture device. It's like a whip on like a. It's like a whip and a paddle on like a turn wheel. It's being just pushed around in circles by the imps, so they just come around just like whip paddle, whip paddle.
Love it. Your bestiary is kind of incomplete. So, what does the bare skeleton, like, what does the bare bones of this room do? Is it just loads of little stools? Is it?
Well, the beginnings of this, you can see various stables being set up because, you see, the greatest of even monstrous kind understand that to be truly terrifying as you run into battle, you need a mount. So, for our dear cobbled friends here and a brilliant master planner like myself, we will eventually have beautiful mounts like wargs galore, hippogriffs, pegasuses, and the like in here. But for now, until we gain such stablings, you will at least see the outlines.
Fantastic. And last but not least, the stairway.
So the stairway, it's got a large arch with a variety of, well, there's 7 deadly sins, just each depicted across the archway, each more debauched than the last. On the stairs down, each of them is a different color, with arcane sigils at the side. And as you descend the staircase, you step on each one, you hear a different note. So as you walk down the stairs, it plays a little tune. Very nice. Ominous.
You often catch your imps when they've got nothing to do, making those melodies and running up the stairs, stupidly filling your dungeon with this weird cacophony of sounds. There we go.
Yeah.
And of course, the sanctum we've described earlier. So, folks, the past 2 months you've spent with your imps building this lair you've been dreaming of, this stronghold. But unfortunately, for you, the outside world turns, and approaching on the path leading up to your stronghold, there's a bunch of figures holding in their hands pitchforks, murmuring to themselves, which you are oblivious of, but our viewers can see them looming around the entrance. They sort of steady themselves, looking nervously between them, as they draw the courage to move in. You see 4 such figures with pitchforks, townsfolk murmuring. If you were there in the entrance, you would hear them say, "I tell you, it's not right, those animal corpses coming back to life and wandering off. We've got to put a stop to this wicked witchcraft. I saw our Bessie, my poor Bessie's bones, come out of her graveyard and come up here. Oh, something evil's afoot. We gotta put it. And when those damn soldiers and heroes aren't around, it's up to us honest town folks to put evil to the flame and give him a good forking." As figures enter your dungeon, you are being invaded. You may be oblivious to this fact, but fortunately you've set up defences, and such townsfolk will be... So, I believe... Oh, I've got to put it on the right layer so you can see it. Token layer, there you go. You see them. There's 4 of them. They move into your dungeon.
Idiots. I knew those the shinies would attract the idiots.
You're waiting in your sanctum, in your rooms, plotting what other schemes you are, involving yourself in whatever activities. So we're on to the defending the dungeon stage. This is blowback from your shenanigans, your pacts with demons that have unsettled local hamlets. And these townsfolk are come to put a stop to you. You, Uncle, are responsible for the tricks.
Yes, I am. True, the maze.
So you need to make a fortune roll, I believe.
How do I do that?
Well, folks, fortune. I think this is the first fortune roll we've run, so I will narrate how fortune rolls work. Once I get the text, bear with me. I believe, and I think a fortune roll is.
Made figure out something goes across the world. She wasn't quite sure what.
I think it's 2 rolls.
Make a fortune roll.
Here we go. Fortune rolls. Roll fills in this result. What are the chances? 1d10. Okay, cool. Just roll a. Not a 1d10, Plucky. It's a 1d. So it's a d6. Right.
1d6. Okay.
I'll get the hang of it, folks. It's a new system. You have to forgive me.
2. No, not good.
Failure. Things go about as poorly as they could. So it is not very effective. So what would be the least best outcome for you? The new trick.
They find their way through the rooms, but together instead of being split up.
Okay, and so which? So we've got 2 options here. Oh my god, why am I not on the right layer? Okay. Which would be the least advantageous route for you?
I don't think there is at least one.
Okay.
But both are, they're kind of equal, aren't they?
They are indeed. So I am just going to make a roll. I'm going to do 1 to 3. They go the spider route. And 4, 5, 6, they go the trap route. They got 3, so that's the spider route, I believe?
Yep.
Yep, so all 4 of them go into this creature lair.
Oh, that was a mistake, wasn't it?
George, these walls are hid. We better hold ourselves so we don't accidentally trip on this dark, dear glooms. Oh, did that skeleton just cackle at me? Oh, let's hurry out of this room. Oh, this looks like a little bit more of a cooler room. We'll cool our boots off here, eh? Ooh, I wonder what this strange cloth-like material is. Okay. Creatures. Now, how creatures work is they have a sort of morale thing, and you make rolls against the venturer. If the creature succeeds on a roll, or criticals, they don't take any morale damage and keep fighting. Creatures can target multiple events throughout a fight. They must change targets if possible with each roll. Remember that creatures usually take morale damage as a consequence. Right, so let's have a quick look at the creatures to remind myself of what they'll be rolling. I think it's based off their level. Tier 1. I think they just roll 1 dice. I can't see anything about that, and I don't want to slow it down. I think tier 1s roll 1 if I vaguely remember something there. So, would you like to roll?
All right. My terrifying little corrupted spiders will roll a strong 4 in a 1d6.
They will indeed. That is a mixed result. So they lose some morale, but they do deal a damage. And One of the townsfolk is marring the cloth. Ooh, this is I'm stuck. George, George. And then a black demonic spider spins down, clutches around his head, inserts his little spindly fangs into the back of his neck, and his eyes flash with demonic fires. There's a sound of his soul leaves the body, like a spiritual ether thing, and his desiccated corpse drops to the thing. Townsfolk all move around, jabbing at the spiders wildly with their pitchforks, keeping them at bay. Some of the spiders are splatted. They've got to take, but they can make another roll because they've still got some morale.
All right, go on, spiders. Do some damage with your great D1 on your D6. You can do it, demon spiders. I believe.
One of the poor townsfolk is overextended, and his pitchfork gets swarmed as these little small spiderlings crawl up it. He tries to shake them free, but he ends up shaking them upon him. They're like biting, and his eyes eventually light up with the demonic fires, and the ethereal soul bleeds out. And the townsfolk reluctantly start stomping the spiders on the corpse of their fallen comrade. Poor Steve the Miller. When they're finished, there's this desiccated corpse, and the spiderlings, knowing that their numbers have dwindled, recede to the crevasses and creeks and stalactites to live to fight another day. Two townsfolk look at each other, look of reluctance.
Yeah.
For George, we've got to do this for Bessie, for Steve the Miller, for Garrick the Carpenter. And they steel themselves to move on. Poor, this place don't half stink, George, doesn't it? As they come into the sofa, so keep away from the walls, it burns. They move their way from the stream. I am going to do a fortune roll here. 6. 4 mixed. So on a success or a mixed result is the least likely way. You probably want them to go to the sort of trap room, so they end up going to the lock room. Who is responsible for the lock?
I am.
Okay.
Derek hates my locks.
Roll a d6 to see if these townsfolk succeed.
Derek says your locks are terrible.
They do indeed succeed. They make their way through the lock. They use their pitchforks and sort of lose leverage, and you can see that these people are hulking farmers. In fact, George and his labourer make short work of prying these bones apart and squeezing through the lock room. Okay. Oh, George, this ain't enough creepy, isn't it? Ooh, I don't like this place, not one bit. Which way would you players want them to go from this point?
Does it matter? Because like, there's no more hazards.
Yeah,
Right?
I was gonna say I don't know because they're either walking into an empty room or a dungeon room that has like no one in it. So
Okay.
I suppose we don't want them to go into the empty room because we don't want to get them down to the inner sanctum, right? So
I guess the worst thing is they go in the dungeon room and it's just like a slight time wasting dead end.
yeah.
Okay. So you want them to head to not the empty room? Is that what?
I guess there's not a. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because I don't think either room does either room do anything. I guess to defend itself.
I mean, I think the thing is, if they go into the torture chamber, there's a small chance that they might end up doubling back to the trap room, I guess. Otherwise, they head on.
Yeah. So we want them to go into.
Yeah, I guess we want them to go in the dungeon room to hope they get turned around or something.
Yeah. Okay. Mixed result. They go into the torture room. George, I don't like this place. What manner of evils do they get up to here? Sort of turns, like, looks towards the wall, and one of the skeletal, like, torch things looks at them and they've run, fleeing from the room back into here.
It's just imps on hamster wheels making whips fly around the room.
1d6. I'm assuming that you want them to head back to this way towards the trap.
Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah.
I mean, you could speak yourself. I would mean the Colosseum to fight them.
From there. No, George. Come on, Patrick. We've been through here. That's that same stinky river. I remember that smell. Come on. It's this way, lad. Don't be such a fool. Then you get to the empty room. Oh, what do you think they use this for, George? Oh, I don't want to think about it. Let's move on. They go into your... Ooh, this looks like my stable. This is a nice room. I can't see Bessie anywhere. Go. I'm not 100% sure this is how pathing is, but this is how I think it is. So I'll look back at the rules. They head back into here. I gotta...
See, I think, Grunkle Bum, you managed to make the whole place look like a maze, and that's working wonders. So keep going back into the locker room.
That's the plan, isn't it? But we should make that the trap room.
Dun, 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 dun. Musical notes fill the dungeon as they descend down.
They're in.
Okay.
Into the sanctum.
They've made it to the sanctum. Okay. Engagement. Well, it did take them a while to get there. Okay. I'm going to make a engagement roll for you. Ooh. Okay. Although you were working in your room, scheming, or maybe having a sleep, eating food, you hear a ding, boom, brr, brr, as the stairs. Somebody's coming.
Huh?
You're able...
Is someone ring the doorbell?
First person to act gets +1 position or effect. You're able to maneuver yourself into a position to take advantage of this. So, folks, as two scared townsfolk, George and Patrick, make their way down, holding their pitchforks, looking a few shades paler than they may have been when they first entered this.
Oh, they got to smash him. In the glorious Colosseum.
I want to give I want to like run to like the firework trigger and like start giving Derek like a countdown to walk out the firework door.
Fantastic. So,
I'm gonna wait for that because I likes the entrance.
Yeah. So, as you had time to prepare it, Sus goes up, sets up the fireworks. Some imps are in there, and they're sort of clanking their bones together in anticipation. And as like George and Patrick's walk in, there's a fireworks, roar of bones clanking together as they're there, and
Welcome to our Colosseum, dear friends. I hope you are ready to sacrifice yourself to Zimgur.
Xanathar.
Zamgar. Thank you for your donation.
Close.
fantastic. Are you
So anyway, I start smashing.
okay? You're smashing. Okay, fantastic. Love that intro. What are your natures, by the way?
Yours. What's yours?
Derek, your nature?
Oh, mine. I'll be cruel and gullible, sir.
Okay, fantastic. Good to know. Go make your smash roll. Sorry, I'm getting so absorbed with the show.
Oh, right, okay. Nice. Okay. So, do I get my pulverizing and my powerful, and my extended reach, and my 2 smashes?
Do indeed. You're able to add 2 dice to your.
All right. Okay, so that's what D4, 4D6. Is
yes,
that?
46.
Okay.
Not D10s, Plucky. 46s.
Not 40-20 either.
No.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a success.
Yeah, damn right. It's time to sacrifice.
You as you're coming up to them, you notice that there's a more slighter, younger, maybe 20, not the sort of grizzled veteran of like 40 years. You could be cruel and take this one out first and make the other one suffer emotionally from seeing his ward be cut down in front of you. Maybe string this out a little longer.
Sorry, did I say I was gonna kill it? No, that's my bad. Sorry. I was just gonna cut his arms off and let him live.
Okay. Fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic. Take a dark heart. This farmhand sort of shaking with his pitchfork lays it out, and as he your hands deceptively long sort of whip past his pitchfork and just slice both of them off at the elbow. They drop to the floor. There's a horror as this blood. He sort of holds them close to him. He sort of drops down.
I'll bite off a finger off one of them.
Nice.
And offer him a bite.
Just sort of tries to recoil. His eyes are going fluttering as blood loss gets to him. Sus, Grunklegun. One of you? Who's going to act?
I'd like to run over to the other one, and I want to have my staff in hand, and I'm going to say, "How dare you enter our inner sanctum? This is sacrilege. You have desecrated this place with your foul presence. Now I summon the greatest demon in all of hell. I summon," and then I smack him with the ball.
Nice.
I'd like to try and trick him.
Yes, that's definitely what it sounds like. Go for it.
No.
Fail. You immediately start stepping back as you start this summoning and moves out of reach of your staff, and it just looks like you're doing some weird shamany dance. And as you do, he takes advantage of your position, and you are at risk of suffering a light wound as a consequence.
So I could try and resist that, right?
You could indeed try and resist that if you wish. You can't use trickery to resist it, though.
No, I can't. What I would like to do, just What's he going to do? Hit me with his pitchfork?
Yeah, he's gonna lash out at you.
Well, I'm going to stare him down and say, no, no, wait. I have something important to tell you. And I'm trying to command him
Yep, go for it.
to stop it.
He sort of freezes in his tracks. Used to being taking orders and being bossed around, a lowly serf farmer, he sort of freezes. Looks expectantly up to you. You managed to avoid taking any stress because you got 6, and you managed to thwart the farmer's advance with the pitchfork. Sus, what are you doing?
I want to try my slap together. Where I can spend stress to rig up a tier 1 or 2 contraption on the spot, which falls apart after its first use. Contraption's volatile.
Okay.
So it's like, I gotta prove that Derek. I gotta prove myself to Derek, and I just like, I'm dragging out like this little. I guess it would look kind of like a cobbled together, like a little handheld cannon.
Nice. Is it one of those pre-prepared fireworks that you've just picked up?
No.
No. So...
This one's called the Bone Breaker, baby. You know how like chain shots out of maritime cannons?
Yeah.
It's like 2 balls on a chain that are made to break mast. It's like that on a tiny version. It's literally designed to just like maim limbs, like just destroy legs and arms.
Fantastic.
I just want to like try to just like destroy this kid's leg.
Like the boy without any arms, or
No, the one that was trying to hit
fantastic.
Uncle
George, you like narrow. Okay, fantastic. So you're using one of your crafter abilities, that sounds like?
Yeah.
Okay, let me double check that. Sounds fantastic. Is there a role involved? Let me just...
I'm assuming it would use the Tinker roll, maybe?
Yeah, that definitely. So, okay, fantastic.
And I know I take stress for it, I just don't know
Yeah.
how much. So would I use the 2 Tinkers and then the 1 Dark Heart? Because I really want to prove to Derek
Yep.
that I'm not a piece of shit.
Go for it. So, yeah, use your tinkering. I'm going to say you spend a stress here.
Okay.
I'll look up how much spending stress is and talk, because we're trying some new playtest rules, and I'm not sure how that will go. I think it may be base 1, but does it usually have stress cost capabilities? I'll find out. But for this...
Gotcha. So that ended up being a 3d6, right?
Yep, go for it.
And then it says it's volatile, so I don't know how you handle that, but...
I will look up...
There you go.
You succeed.
So I just like wheel out this little cannon. This one's the Bone Breaker, baby, and I light the fuse, and it just shoots this little chain shot that just buries into his leg, and the cannon just on the opposite end of it just like explodes.
As it explodes, it crumbles apart, but these chains like fling out. They bash into the kneecap with a sickening crunch as George drops to one leg. It wraps around and then smacks into the other sort of other leg's shin and cracks that, and he stumbles forward, hitting his head, blood pooling out. Both wounds look to be fatal to these townsfolk if they aren't intervened with. Are you going to allow them to bleed out?
Grunkleban is going to step in, and he's going to try and channel some magics to stem the flow of blood from the one that tried to stab him, because he deserves to be tortured a lot. How dare he think about stabbing Grunkle? So he surges forward with his staff. He places it against the wound, and he starts to chant and request that the flesh to just knit and stop the flow, let blood clot, or wounds thicken.
Fantastic.
Let wounds be healed. Do you want me to take some stress and roll an invocation?
Yes, I would love you to take some stress. invocation.
Derek probably won't kill you. That was kind of cool.
Okay. As you conjure the magics and spirits, heal our enemies. You have displeased and sordid my name, invoking me. I will be less reluctant. I won't be more forthcoming with my aid. You feel spurned by the spirits that you've summoned, a consequence of you healing this. Even though your intentions were to torture it, these spirits can be fickle and their favour easily won and easily lost. You can try and resist the consequence, but otherwise there will be some sort of petty revenge if you know the spirits.
I'm not going to try and resist, because I know that I'm right. So I don't care what some petty spirit thinks about me. Whatever, bring your worst.
Okay, wow.
I'm your master, not the other way round.
Fantastic. Just putting that in the mental pocket, folks.
Threaten Grandcupan, will you?
Grunklepun's gonna get you killed by demons.
What did he say his name was? Was it Sword?
Didn't give a name.
Spirits? What was his name?
It didn't give a name. You invoke whatever name you choose to invoke it at the time. If you didn't invoke it, you were just calling on general spirits, which you know is risky. And so, did you use a name to invoke him, Drunkleban, or did you?
I did. Yes, I did.
Do you remember
his name? Yes, I do. It is the Blood Keeper.
The Blood Keeper.
There we are.
Okay. Right. So, Jordan Patrick, most defeated. Patrick bleeds out in horrifying horror against one of the stands as like little imps clap along. His final vision is of you taking his blood and funneling it into George, and George's eyes fluttering and his breathing sort of coming back to him stronger. And that is the end of the invasion. You do get rewards for getting these. These farmers did have something on them. As you pick up the remains. You all get to make a loot roll, I believe. Unfortunately, there was no adventurers there, so it's just bric-brac the farmers had on them. So you all need to roll 2d6 and take the lowest result. Enjoy. Why? Okay. Let's go to loot. I haven't yet memorized the loot table, folks. Did you
see it, Derek? I broke his legs. It worked. I broke his legs, Derek. Please don't kill me.
Derek seems to be using his inner voice rather than his out.
Sorry. Now what would I call you, dear souse? And I slap him on the shoulder quite roughly. Clearly you've done some great damage here today. But these were just farmers. Maybe if you were to do the same thing against actual town's hero, I might be impressed.
Everybody that failed gains 1 gold as they rifle through and pick an assortment of like silver and like coppery coins to amount to a gold. Sus, as you go and inspect the wreckage of the Bone Breaker, you notice a gold coin hidden in the sole of one of the boots that was being knocked off of the legs of George. So you get 2 gold coins worth of gold. Okay, folks.
Can I make me some new cutlery?
You can indeed.
Thank you, sir. See, I brought this bloody hatchet into the fight so that I could make myself a new mug out of all the skulls of these here filthy humans. So I like myself make myself 4 common skull mugs for the crappy cheap mead.
If you make 4 skull mugs, that's going to mean you kill one of the prisoners that Grunkle Buns.
Fine, 3.
You can power struggle if you really want it, Derek. You are?
No, I'd rather sit. Honestly, I'd rather see him suffer.
That is true. That is playing in.
I forgot. I forgot. He did some demon stuff. I'll take the head of the other 3.
Roll me a finesse.
I've got 1 point. What do I do? Is that a 1d6?
1d6.
All right. I'm super successful and have all the heads, I think you'll find.
What you didn't anticipate is how bloody and slippery these bodies are. And the mucus and like decomposingness from the spider's demonic corrupted venom means that you slip, and as a consequence, you're at risk of injuring your hand with a light wound.
Yeah, like hell I am. You see, I think you'll find that I'm used to this kind of tragedy, right? You think I don't make these clumsy, stupid mistakes every day, right? I'm just gonna roll beautifully, right? Like something out of a martial arts lesson. I'm like, done. I resist. And I've got defense against the wound. So
you're using your armor trappings to defend yourself?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying, right? See, it might be a nice big shield here, but there's a bit of flexibility. So we're going to try and avoid.
So only Derek knows why he went through the elaborate maneuver of rolling his body in the path of his own axe, so his armor would interpose itself. But for all of those watching and like the creature lair, see him sort of do this awkward rolls. The axe sort of goes into his armor and he sort of bumbles over it, and there's a little bit of a dent, but he defends himself using his trappings to And I think, folks, that would be a good point to get to what some might argue the most important part of any session: the distribution of experience. Your delicious XP points. Folks, you survived the deadly onslaught of the bandits, the farmers. You've got your own dungeon. So there's something called XP triggers. So you judge for yourself whether you hit your XP triggers. Go through them and tell us how you hit them. So I'm going to go to the XP triggers page, and then I'm going to copy them to the Discord, and you're going to tell me how you hit those triggers.
We can read them out. I can read them out. They're on the character sheet.
Fantastic. That makes it a lot easier, folks. And I knew that. I'm just testing my players, and they're passing.
So this is for monster XP, isn't it? And the first one is you made progress on your master plan.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all did. We build a dungeon.
Yep.
So
the default master plan is to gather more of a hoard, I believe, like gain more treasure, which you've done. You've got some coins and stuff, so I think that's good.
So that's
Grow the hoard, yeah.
The second one is you use the scene to bring the dungeon to life. Well, we each had a scene building the dungeon, right?
You did indeed.
Second, you did something a human would never do. Well, I think we all.
Yeah, we did.
We all did various things that humans wouldn't do.
Damn human do-gooders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Body parts, sacrificing, summoning things, breaking bones with explosive weaponry. And you utilize your trappings in creative way.
So, how did you, Grunklebun, utilize your trapping in a creative way?
I used a nose flute to create a distraction.
You did indeed. And there's nothing more creative than nose flute playing. So that's it. You've ticked off 4 of those. That's 4 monster XP. Fill up that bar. Fantastic. Sus. How did you utilize your trappings in creative ways?
I reversed the listening horn to be the troglodyte of the forest.
You did indeed. That was very creative. Take your monster XP. So that's 4 monster XP. Derek, how did you use your trappings in a creative way?
Well, you see, I decided that the culinary creation of mugs was in order for my hatchet, and also you'd be amazed the amount of acrobats that can be done with one's armor when they are both flexible and hurting themselves.
That is 4 XP. For those that are following, yes, him turning like human skulls into beverage things ticks things that you'd hope humans wouldn't do. Sort of like cutscene to the serial killer doing that same thing, and utilizing your trapping creative ways. So very well done, players. I had a thoroughly enjoyable session. Hopefully that gives you a taste and gives you an idea of the rules. Clearly, there's taking a new system. There's a lot of terminology, and I know that I, like you players, was learning it, but hopefully you felt the play experience was smooth, and I did a good job of bringing this world to life. I hope you viewers agree. So this is a kind of our like debrief section. First of all, thanks for coming and joining me and watching this. I had a lot of fun. Obviously, we got our costumes on. Love the players' efforts. Unfortunately, Undercover Hippo doesn't have a camera at the moment, but just imagine them looking really fantastic, because I'm sure they are. And Grunklebun, I'm loving your voice and your things as well as you, Derek. Everybody did it, and Sus. Everybody did a really good job. I was very happy with the efforts you went to. If anybody's watching and has some questions, now's the time to ask it. As we have the players sort of leave us with their final thoughts. And while we're doing our final thoughts, the most important thing that we always leave for last, got to come up with a name for this dungeon. So that's something you've got to do before we close out. That would be our final thing. The Stronghold Dungeon. What is it going to be called?
I think we should call it Stronghold a la Derek. Yeah.
I think we should call it Waging War.
Was that Waging Warg?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
All right, I guess that's a little bit punny.
Sus?
We should call it Sus's Fun Maze and Trap Emporium.
I mean, I think mine was the best, but second to that, Waging War, I guess, is all right.
Is there one you can clearly agree on, or are we going to have to power struggle this out?
Oh, yeah, no, let's power struggle this, right? Stronghold, Derek Stronghold, let's go.
Okay. I think that would be a nice scene to start the next thing on. So
Save it. You can save it.
This is a cliffhanger, as all TV shows go. What will the dungeon be called, folks? Find out next time. Will Derek, the strong bugbear, get his desires? Will Sus, the cunning kobold crafter, be crafty enough to secure their emporium? Will Grunklebun, the cunning shaman, get their punny dungeon name?
I'll kill everyone in this room, including myself.
So, final thoughts, players, as we sign off.
Looking forward to tracking down Clarence, that bandit, because he ran away. He didn't die, he didn't serve us, so I have to track him down until he either dies or serves us.
Okay.
Looking forward to that.
Fantastic. Suitably petty, I love it.
I was rather hoping, to be honest, that the armless one would survive so that I could send him back to his village and gather more victims. But it's a shame, you know, sometimes I just don't know my own strength.
Sus?
Back to the drawing board. More contraptions, less falling apart.
Well.
Must prove Derek not kill me.
Well, folks, I hope you've had as much fun as I have, and hopefully, by the sounds of it, my players have as well. We'll be trying to do this weekly.